P4, Sveriges Radio.
Introducing better modern sound in country music.
P4 Country med Mattias Hansson.
Hej och välkommen till 3 ackord och sanningen med mig, Mattias Hansson. Har du tänkt på en sak? Det kallas ju för comfort food. Komfortmat. Du vet den där maten som bara får dig att känna dig trygg och lugn och kanske minnas något ljuvligt personligt. För mig är en skånsk kalops komfortmat. Helst mammas såklart. För dig är det kanske ostkaka eller böcklinglåda. Alla har sin komfortmat. Lite på samma sätt så brukar jag förklara country. Det är komfortmusik. Country är som att krypa upp i famnen på någon du litar riktigt mycket på och känner dig trygg med. Någon som kan trösta och läka. Idag har jag plockat ut flera sådana låtar för dig att liksom krypa upp och mysa i. Jag ger dig en stunds country-komfort. Med det bästa, nya och gamla låtarna. Och självklart spelar vi som utlovat alltid minst en dolly i timmen. Och mycket mer. Men nu rullar vi!
I met you, my country girl. You didn't have a thing. I fell in love, I dressed you up, and then I bought the ring. I was teaching you to love, you were doing fine. Then one day you learned too much, and it poisoned your sweet mind. Now you've gone and left me, you're with somebody new. But I wonder if you told him I bought the clothes on you. When you two were dancing and you whisper soft and sweet, I wonder if you'll tell him I bought the shoes on your feet. Now I've lost my country girl to a city love affair. He built you up, you fell for him. You didn't treat me fair. You think that he's a dream come true. He says he loves you so. Wait until the word gets out. I taught you all that you know. Now you've gone and left me, you're with somebody new. But I wonder if you told him I bought the clothes on you. When you two were dancing and you whisper soft and sweet, I wonder if you'll tell him I bought the shoes on your feet.
Du hörde Country Girl med The Hillbilly Heartthrob själv, Farron Young. Först ut i dagens P4 Country. Fortsätt häng med så kan du senare få träffa den tänkande honky-tonkern JP Harris på besök här i dagens P4 Country.
Hej, det här är Melissa Horn och du lyssnar på P4 Country.
Franskfödde Theo Lawrence teamade upp med en av mina alt-country-favoriter Melissa Carpenter i fina Thank you, but no thank you. Men härifrån säger vi bara Thank you, Theo och Melissa.
I found my own today,
Old Phone med arenagiganten Ed Sheeran som släppte denna låt tidigare i år samtidigt som han la ut bilder från när han gjorde akustiska överraskningsspelningar runt om i Nashville och deklarerade sin dröm om att någon gång få göra ett helt countryalbum. Och det hoppas vi på. Välkommen in i countryvärmen Ed Sheeran. The more, the merrier. Men nu, lyssna noga. Hur många kända låttitlar känner du igen i den här? Favorite Country Song med Hardy, en av Nashvilles stora låtskrivarstjärnor som alla vill samarbeta med. Och här visade Hardy att han verkligen var vaken och tog anteckningar på historielektionerna i countryskolan.
In boots and spurs and they're holding hands. Couple cowboys just getting off work and they wanna dance. Dressed up head to toe, rhinestones, camo. They already know about that rainbow rodeo. Oh, 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 that rainbow rodeo. Oh, 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 oh. Rednecks drinking blue ribbon, it's giving weird. Cake and Wrangler jeans and cool on up. Kings and queens and in between. Grab a solo cup. Dressed up head to toe. Rhinestones below. Neon's gonna glow at that rainbow rodeo. Rednecks drinking blue ribbon. It's giving we're living in the land of the brave. Real southern comfort comes from loving each other. Color of that flag we wave. A little vogue, a little do-si-do. Let's go to the rainbow rodeo. A little vogue, a little do-si-do. Let's go to the rainbow rodeo. R-O-D-E-O. You wanna go? R-O-D-E-O. It's like whoa. R-O-D-E-O. Heel to toe. R-O-D-E-O. Let's go. Rednecks drinking blue ribbon. It's giving we're living in the land of the brave. Real southern comfort comes from loving each other. Every color of that flag we wave. A little vogue, a little do-si-do. Let's go to the rainbow rodeo. A little vogue, a little do-si-do. Let's go to the rainbow rodeo.
Broke Eden är en av de högst sjungande queer-ambassadörerna inom modern glittrig country. Som hon visade även här i den dansanta bangern Rainbow Radio med Broke Eden.
P4 Country.
Nu är det äntligen dags för mig att presentera dagens gäst här i P4 Country. JP Harris är en alternativ institution i södra Nashville och alla känner igen honom på det långa yviga skägget och de mörka observanta ögonen. Med blick för traditionell honky-tonk-musik adderar JP Harrison modern klangvärld till sin fina country och de inspelningarna som han gör mellan snickeriarbeten och husrenoveringar. Jag har följt honom länge och är extra stolt över att nu kunna presentera JP Harris för dig, kära lyssnare, nu i P4 Country. Standing here backstage at Nalen in the city center of Stockholm, in front of me I have the great honor to have the one and only JP Harris. Welcome to Stockholm, JP.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You have been here several times and you have traveled around Sweden for the last week or so. So you travel around the world and you see a lot of things. Is there anything special that you take with you from Sweden?
As much chocolate as I can carry usually. And yeah, I like, there seems to be this sense of a lot of connection to the natural world. And you can see it in how, well kept people's farms are in the countryside. And it's nice. It's a very calm feeling.
Is that also helpful for you when looking into your country today and see that it's, it's divided in a sort of way that we haven't hoped for?
It would be an understatement to say that things are very unstable and a little scary back home right now. People are becoming so, like you said, fractured. Polarized is a word a lot of people use. And sometimes I like to think that my understanding of two very different ends of the American reality for people, whether they be from a very rural area or a very urban metropolitan area, far left, far right, that I have experienced enough in life to understand the perspectives from both ends of the political spectrum in America these days. And I do feel a certain responsibility to use the little bit of influence that I have and the gift of words that I have to find a middle ground for people to realize that we're not all that different after all, and hopefully help some people get through this dark time we're in right now.
JP Harris står framför mig i en av de guld-klädda salarna på Nalen i Stockholm och berättar att hans djupa förståelse för alla sidorna i det just nu milt sagt röriga amerikanska politiska landskapet kanske kan ta sig ut i hans sånger så att folk kan förstå att vi inte är så olika egentligen. Som snickare och hantverkare restaurerar JP Harris gärna gammalt, men med en modern twist, precis som han ser på sitt musikskapande.
Sometimes I fix an old house and we tear off something old and we make a reproduction, but we might change the detail just slightly, for one reason or another. But we're sticking within the broader style of how this home was built or this big building was built, way back before my time. And I have a similar approach to country music in that I believe in preserving what the core of country music is. I think that it's a very uniquely American product that came from all the different ethnicities and musical backgrounds of all the people that made up America through the early 20th century. And it's important to keep all those influences current, but at the same time, it's important to put my little signature on it, my little touch. And I think that, again, whether people know it or not, they are attracted to my music because it is my own version of a preserved culture that I'm now carrying forward. It's my time, and then after me there'll be younger folks that come along and do their version of it. And so I feel like the two kind of go hand in hand for me, as an ideal.
Senaste fenomenala albumet heter JP Harris is a Trash Fire och jag frågar JP om min favoritlåt från albumet, To the Doves.
Oh, yeah, that is hands down my favorite song on the record. The song, objectively, is sort of a mean song. It's from the perspective of a lover saying, "Why are you so heartbroken? I never cared about you. This was something fleeting. Go along and forget about me." It's kind of a cruel storyline, but contrasted by these beautiful angelic harmonies that she put down. It became this. It drew a new angle of emotion into the song that I never imagined happening. And it's definitely my favorite recording from the whole album.
I could be the only one, clear the sky and lit the sun, hold you from the darkness to the daylight. I could have been your sole reprieve, the everything you'd ever need, the one the good Lord made to be by your side. But I
was just a stranger. You're better off this way, why bear the pain of losing one you love? So go on, forget I ever came, forget you knew my name, and let's leave the morning to the doves. Sweetest scents tangled around a barbed wire fence, torment and the beauty, how they linger. You painted me a thornless rose of only colors that you chose, and cried when the blood ran from your fingers. There's no use, dear, to fight it. Open up your eyes, I'm just a dream that you've been dreaming of. Come now, let the feelings fade, let the memories drift away, and let's leave the morning to the doves.
To the Doves med JP Harris från albumet JP Harris is a Trash Fire. Det är en brinnande själ jag har framför mig på Nalen när jag ber JP Harris beskriva bakgrunden till titelsången Trash Fire.
You know, in my line of work as a carpenter, a lot of the old houses we're working on, you know, we're rehabilitating different parts and we're restoring exteriors and interiors. And a lot of times, you know, I always pull all the scrap metal that's left over, usually copper, brass, things that are valuable like that. And I have a little pile going in the backyard, you know, and about once a year, right along the river, right in front of downtown, when you drive into Nashville, you've probably seen it, you have this beautiful city skyline, you know, and all these new condo buildings and high-rise luxury hotels, and, you know, it's a symbol of growth and prosperity. And then in front of you, on my side of the river, is this total wasteland of industrial district, you know, and there's a huge scrap metal yard down there. And I'll go down there like once a year with my little truckload of, you know, copper and brass and everything, get my $200, you know, it's my beer money or whatever. And I was going down there one day and there was something was on fire at the other end of the scrapyard. This happens quite a bit. You know, they're crushing cars and things ignite and they don't think anything of it because it's just piles of metal and concrete everywhere. And the juxtaposition of the new Nashville skyline, this beautiful glossy, glitzy skyline with just heaps of scrap metal and, you know, guys in these totally banged up old pickup trucks, you know, throwing refrigerators out in the pile and this fire going in the background. And it struck me as very ironic to my own relationship with Nashville. I don't belong to the Music Row radio country end. I don't belong to the, you know, the super, you know, outlaw, super cool kid end of the country scene. I'm somewhere in between, floating in my own little world. And while I was there, I got the idea for the chorus, like a trash fire burning at the scrap metal yard by the highway. It keeps burning against their will. And in that way, I feel sort of like this, I'm like this burning dumpster in the middle of an otherwise like polished, glossy, you know, kind of highfalutin city that everyone sort of, they're entranced by it, but they don't know whether to pour water on it or put more burnables, you know, pour more fuel on it, you know. And I've always kind of existed that way, you know, within the music scene. And so that song is sort of course, it's sort of what we'd say is tongue-in-cheek, you know. It's a sarcastic song in some ways, but in another way, it's me taking some very friendly jabs at these worlds, these other worlds, you know. I'm just doing my own thing, and, you know, so just burning bright.
Oh, like a trash fire raging at the scrap metal yard by the highway. It keeps burning against their will. Lord, it might take up some time, but you know I'm gonna do it my way. The world keeps turning, and I stand still. late as old early bird can't seem to find no worm. A housebroke tiger on a leash, too much pit, not enough peach for the record men to meet me on my terms. And meanwhile, the new revival fashionistas frown me down for showing up sleeveless to their well-heeled outlaw press soiree. Yeah, my story reads like the wettest dreams, pricks and pitch publicity, but hemlines take the headlines here these days. Yeah, like a trash fire raging at the scrap metal yard by the highway, it keeps burning against their will. Lord, it might take some time, but you know I'm gonna do it my way. The world keeps turning, I stand still.
Trashfire med JP Harris. En låt som JP Harris precis innan beskrev som en symbol för hans eget självvalda utanförskap. Eller ska vi kalla det för mellanförskap. I hemstaden Nashvilles musikaliska karta. Ja, JP Harris är sannoliken i en liga för sig. Och älskad världen över är han för sin unika egenart. Och för att han vågar och vill ta ställning via orden och låtarna. Som i roliga, skrämmande och fiffiga låten Take Off Your Tinfoil Hat. En uppmaning till några av hans fellow Americans. Ta av dig din foliehatt. JP Harris, you have this wonderful song Take Off Your Tinfoil Hat. It's fun, it's smart, but it's also serious.
Yeah.
How is it to be in Nashville, in your country, and do a political song like this?
Well, you know, as you said, I've never really shied away from making my politics known. In a lot of ways, I don't like to be categorized in one particular category of politics. I think that's part of the problem of how we ended up where we are in America now today in the first place. I'm not a big fan of the two-party system that I've grown up with. But I think there's just, there's basic dignity and basic how would I say this, the power of critical thinking. And in the last 8-10 years, I have watched so many people from all ends of the political spectrum go so far out into the universe of these wild theories and conspiracies and political beliefs. And and you know, the COVID pandemic was one that it really brought all of that to the surface with a lot of people, you know, and to see these, you know, very liberal yoga mom influencers, you know, trying to say that vaccines were giving their babies, you know, autism, and then also these people on the hard right wing saying that there was this massive world conspiracy that was spreading COVID everywhere, and all of this sort of came to a head with there was a big car bomb in Nashville on Christmas Day in 2020. And it was a guy who believed that the lizard people were here on Earth and they were controlling the government, and somehow the 5G cell network had to do with voter registration fraud, and this absolutely insane. And I've been watching all this play out for a while, but it really came to a head when I was woken up. The car bomb was so large that it was 2 miles away in the city center, and it shook my whole house, woke me up at 6 a.m. And I had had enough, and I sat down and I wrote that song that afternoon.
So take off your tinfoil hat. Don't you know that it's out of fashion? Don't you know that Jesus frowns on all the ammo that you've been stashing? You believe the 5G's coming in the night to take your babies away for the Satanist hordes. Good Lord, y'all must be bored. You need to get off the internet. The virus is fake, so I'm going to the beach, and the mask makes you want to have sex with sheep, and I'll shoot you if you stop me from getting drunk over at Chili's. I read between the lines, or at least every 20. I skimmed the report, something seems funny, and the proof is all there, I just don't have the details really. Well, global warming's a hoax from the supercomputer to take all our trucks and make us drive scooters and microchip the masses. I just know it to be so. I want the freedom to die in a senseless mass shooting. I heard Obama was paying for the protests and looting, and the proof is in the basement of the Alamo. So take off your tinfoil hat. Don't you know that it's out of fashion? Don't you know that Jesus frowns on all the ammo that you've been stashing? Do you believe the 5G coming in the night to take your babies away for the Satanist hordes? Good Lord, y'all must be bored. You need to get off the internet. Oh, I said, Lord, good Lord, y'all must be bored. You need to get off, stay off, and get gone from the internet.
Take off your tinfoil hat med JP Harris. En uppmaning från JP till sina landsmän att skärpa till sig en aning. Och inte skämma ut sig själv och andra inför resten av världen. Innan vi skiljs åt så ber jag JP Harris tipsa P4 Country-lyssnarna om han har någon mindre känd countryskatt som han skulle vilja dela.
Yeah, absolutely. Terry Allen is, in my opinion, one of the greatest last living legends, and made more of a living in his life as an actual visual artist than he did as a musician, which you've never, it's two professions you're not likely to make much money at, and it's hard to be successful. And he is not only an incredible songwriter and a great and very unique singer, but he's a storyteller. And as an artist, he sonically paints these whole pictures around his entire albums. And, and somehow, even though his first record came out, I think in the early mid-70s, Terry Allen is he's so odd, he's so angular, and writes incredible songs. And so I think that if you want to hear something that truly sounds like nobody else, but is, but is still classic country music, I think Terry Allen, specifically the album Lubbock on Everything.
Amarillo Highway med Terry Allen. Rekommenderad lyssning från dagens gäst i P4 Country, JP Harris. JP Harris som berättade för mig innan vi skildes åt att han återigen flytt in i studion som han byggt med Chance McCoy för att spela in en ny platta med deras folkmusikkombo JP Harris Dreadful Wind and Rain. Ja, det ser vi fram emot.
P4 Country.
Lazy yellow moon coming up tonight, shining through the trees. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on the breeze. Baby, get ready. Across the field where the creek turns back by the old stone road, I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Whole night through, it feels so good to be with you. Spring is almost over and the summer's coming, the days are getting long. I waited all winter for the time to be right, just to take you along. Baby, get ready. It don't matter if we sit forever and the fish don't bite. We'll jump in a river and cool ourselves from the heat of the night. Baby, get ready. Ooh,
Fishing in the Dark med Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, deras mest streamade låt någonsin. Men gör dig själv en tjänst på en ledig stund och lyssna igenom hela albumet Will the Circle Be Unbroken med Nitty Gritty Dirt Band från 1972. En historielektion i lyxförpackning.
I find it hard sometimes to say the way that I feel. I do the very things I hate to do. I act like a child and I'm afraid of what is real. So I try to cover up the truth. I stumble like a drunk along this crazy path I walk. I have 100,000 questions too. I'll go to any length to prove that nothing is my fault. And later on I will deny the proof.
Hej, där är Fej Parnevik och du lyssnar på P4 Country.
I don't like to win, but then again I hate to lose. And in between is something I can't stand. I don't care what you think and I hope that you approve. I am just an ordinary man. Sometimes I want to stop and crawl back into the womb. Sometimes I cannot tell wrong from right. But I ain't gonna quit until I'm laid in my tomb. And even then they better shut it tight.
Shut It Tight med byäldste T-Bone Burnett. Här förstärkt med folkrockkaptenen Richard Thompson. Men nu, det är dags igen.
I just think we should just love each other and just accept people as they are.
Äntligen, som vi utlovat i P4 Country-manifestet. Vi spelar alltid minst en dolly i timmen.
These are my true colors and I love
Dolly Parton sjöng sin egen Red, White and Bluegrass. En av alla de där As American as Apple Pie-sångerna som vi ibland kan känna oss lite patriotisk främmande inför här hemma, men som på plats i USA är helt självklara. Så som nybyggarna och pionjärerna var stolta över vad de åstadkommit. Och Dolly själv är ju precis sådär American as apple pie. Även om alla vi andra vet att säga att det finns annan apple pie också som smakar minst lika gott. Skånsk till exempel.
Last night my neighbor was having a party. The music they were playing was loud and absurd. I knocked on his door, and when he answered, that's when I reached out and gave him the bird. I said, start with, I'm from the country, and the drinking bone's connected to a little earworm. Through the watermelon crawl by the end of the evening, and you can thank me later for giving you the bird. To be rich and famous to get into one of his shows. I bet he'll have you swinging and a-swaying after 10 rounds of Jose Cuervo. As long as there's a honky-tonk crowd for him to work, he'll get on stage and give them the bird. The blue-eyed baby, she said country music ain't what I prefer. I never will forget the look she gave me when I cranked up the radio and gave her the bird. Soon I was holding heaven, parked in the holler. She was singing along to every word. By the end of the night she must have found a new favorite, 'cause now when I sing to her she gives me the bird. And famous to get into one of my shows. I bet I'll have you swinging and a-swaying after 10 rounds of Jose Cuervo. As long as there's a honky-tonk crowd for me to work, I'll get on stage and give you the bird. Well, you don't have to be rich and famous to get into one of our shows. I bet we'll have you swinging and a-swaying after 10 rounds of Jose Cuervo. As long as there's a honky-tonk crowd for us to work, we'll get on stage and give you the bird. As long as there's a honky-tonk crowd for us to work, we'll get on stage and give you the bird.
The Bird med unga stjärnskottet Alex Miller som hyllade sin hjälte 1990-talsikonen Tracy Bird genom att sjunga både om och med nyss nämnda Bird. The Bird alltså med Alex Miller. P4 Country är producerat och presenterat av mig, Mattias Hansson. Elelegant, inspelningsproducent, teknik, slutmix, Daniel Högberg. Maila oss din bästa countryhistoria på p4country@sverigesradio.se och berätta om när du först upptäckte country eller om ett countrymoment som du vill dela. Glöm inte att skriva vad du heter och var du bor. För alla inskickade bidrag deltar i utlottningen av vår vrålsnygga P4 Country-tygpåse som ofta signerats av någon av våra gäster. Du kan också söka på honky-tonk Mattias Hansson så hittar du mig i sociala medier.
Hi, I'm JP Harris and you're listening to P4 Country.
Snart ska vi till Nangelima eller är det Örebro? Med svenska super-alt-country-duon Johan Arijoki och H-Self. Som efter en gemensam, kanske dyblöt kväll skrev låten En kväll vi alltid kommer minnas. Snart här, sist ut i dagens P4 Country. Du vet att du alltid kan lyssna på P4 Country i appen Sveriges Radio Play. Följ oss där och aktivera notiser så får du alltid reda på när ett nytt avsnitt ligger färskt för lyssning. Vi hörs i appen Sveriges Radio Play. Till dess, kom ihåg, vi är alla i den här countryn tillsammans. Hej och so long.
Men vart ska vi någonstans? En kväll vi alltid kommer minnas, eller inte minnas alls. Bandet på Titanic i sin blöta grav, men innan dess så spelar de för jävlar allt de har. Jag tittar på min kompis, mår han riktigt bra? Det mesta pekar ändå på att jag mår likadant. Vi ska till havets botten eller Skara sommarland, en bar som aldrig stänger, en öppen restaurang. Ja, vi är uppenbart på väg, men vart ska vi någonstans? En kväll vi alltid kommer minnas, eller inte minnas alls. Jag drar till Nattanvara och jag drar till Morgongåva. Jag drar till Jämtehavan, jag drar till Sorberga. Vi är uppenbart på väg, men vart ska vi någonstans?
P4 Country produceras av SMT för Sveriges Radio.
Introducing modern sound and country music.
Det här är P4, Sveriges Radio.